All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Homeowner Hotline. I'm Jennifer Schotte.
And I'm Yhotzmine Fields with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Florida Properties Group. We're your homegirls, and every week we take what's happening in the real estate market and break it down to language that actually makes sense.
Yeah, plain old English.
Plain old English. So today we're talking about something that honestly surprised us. If you think millennials are dominating today's housing market, think again.
Yeah.
Baby boomers have officially become the largest group of buyers and sellers in America. And why are they moving?
Yeah. And why are first time buyers at the lowest ever recorded?
Yeah, that's crazy to me. We're going to find out.
Yep.
Is Gen Z actually buying homes right now?
That's a very good question.
What does all of this mean if you're thinking about buying or selling here in Tampa Bay area?
Yeah. So let's get in it. Into it. Yeah.
To it, yeah.
To it. On this episode of Who's Really Buying Homes and Why Boomers Are Winning the Housing Market.
And what it means for everyone else.
Yeah. So the housing market, let's just put this out there. It's not broken right now.
Broken.
Nope. It is split into two different markets. And I feel like every headline says something different. One says the market is frozen. The next day it says homes are selling overnight. What is actually happening here?
Honestly, they're both right. That's because there really isn't one housing market anymore. There are essentially two. Market number one, people who already own homes. And market number two, people who are trying to buy their first one. Those two groups have completely different experiences today. That's exactly what the National Association of Realtors report has found.
Also known as NAR. So NAR says today's housing market has become divided into two groups, as we mentioned. And so that group one, the current homeowners, they have large amounts of equity. They're able to do bigger down payments, which means they have greater purchasing power, which means they're also often buying with cash. So that's where that group comes from. The second group would be the first time home buyers who they're in the middle of saving for their first down payment. They're going to have higher mortgage payments than the boomers did. They're going to have higher insurance costs. There are higher property taxes. They have a lot of student loan debt to take into account.
Any less down payment as well.
Absolutely. And so they just overall have affordability challenges, I feel.
They do. They definitely do.
So two very different markets right now that it's split into.
Yeah.
So let's get into, for the boomers fact, explaining what equity is, right? Because we hear the word equity all the time. So boomers have equity in their current homes, right? What does that mean?
Okay, so think of equity like your savings account inside your home. If your home is worth $500,000 and you owe $250,000, you have $250,000 in equity. That's money you've built simply by paying your mortgage and your home's value increasing. Now imagine someone who's owned their home for 25 years. Some have 400,000 and some have 600,000. Even over $1 million in equity. That's a huge advantage.
Yeah, like a ginormous advantage. So also let's get into, along with their equity, the baby boomers built their wealth the old fashioned way. They have steady careers, long-term home ownership, which brings you back to the equity and why there's so much of it. There's consistent retirement savings and just decades of appreciation. Today, many are entering retirement with substantial equity, making them, one of the most influential generations for the housing market. So another hand up on other generations.
Yeah,
right now.
that's one of the reasons why they're dominating, and we're going to get into that.
Yeah. So again, it's not necessarily that they're wealthier. They have just simply had more time. And as I was just saying, I think their mindset was more, you stay where you are, you keep just, building on what you currently have instead of building and moving on to the next step, the next bigger house,
Right. So we buy so differently now.
Absolutely.
So this isn't about one generation working harder than another. It's simply time.
Mm-hmm.
Like she said, many baby boomers bought when homes cost a fraction of what they do today.
Like $100,000 for a 3-bedroom house.
On an 18.5% mortgage or interest rate.
Yeah.
They stayed put though.
Yeah.
I bought the house I grew up in.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool, but
All right.
I bought it for $48,000.
Oh, that's what I'm saying.
That's amazing,
Like,
right?
I know my parents bought the house I grew up in for, I want to say it was like one, I don't even know if it was $100,000.
Yeah, it's insane
It's,
what they
yeah.
pay for things back then.
Yeah.
Now, those homes have appreciated tremendously. According to NAR, the typical homeowner has gained about $128,100 in housing wealth over the last 6 years alone, thanks to rising home prices.
Yeah. That's great. So if you've owned a home for 15 or 20 years, that appreciation can be dramatically higher, like substantially. So when the boomers are going shopping, they're walking in with cash from the sale of their previous home.
Exactly. They're writing much larger down payments,
Yep.
sometimes paying all cash, sometimes borrowing very little. Meanwhile, first time homebuyers are trying to save their very first down payment while paying today's prices.
Yeah,
Those are two completely different starting lines.
absolutely. Again, giving the boomers kind of the upper hand. So why are boomers actually moving?
Oh, there's a whole bunch of reasons.
I mean, most people assume retirees are staying put, right? But that's not what the data is showing at all. So I found a fact saying Florida remains to be on one of the top destinations for retiring baby boomers because of the tax advantages they get, the climate, and just the overall lifestyle. Um, I also think they're moving, some other reasons are they want to travel.
They don't need a 4,000 square foot home anymore.
Right.
They want lower taxes. They want single story homes. I know my knees are about to give out. So, and many of them are moving here to Florida.
Yeah. And be near grandchildren. I know that's why my parents moved here. So, and we see every single week, the stats showing how many people are actually moving
I
to
think
Florida.
the last time I checked, it was 800 people a day.
Yeah,
I don't know what the average number is of people leaving, but the people coming is
Yeah.
about 800 a day.
I know for a fact we are in the top 5 states to move to. I want to say we were around number 3 till last I looked.
Okay.
Um,
So every week, some of the buyers tell us we don't need a huge house anymore. We just want enough room for the grandkids when they visit. That lifestyle change is driving a lot of demand.
absolutely. So, let's get into the other side as why first-time buyers are struggling, right? And this is where the conversation becomes really important. So, first-time buyers now make up only 21% of all home purchases.
That's really sad.
Yeah, and that's the lowest share since NAR began tracking that stat back in 1981.
That's tragic.
Yep, that number definitely shocked me, for sure.
That's kind of shocking to me too.
Yeah,
So the average first time home buyer now is 40 years old.
40.
Back in the 1980s,
Crazy.
it was the
It's crazy.
It is. Back in the 1980s, it was the late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
So what's changed?
Definitely higher home prices.
Higher insurance.
Mm-hmm. The property taxes, which can be a whole other episode to talk about in the state of Florida.
Yeah, we'll get there.
And as I mentioned earlier, the student loans, I don't think boomers had student loans the way, millennials do now, or even Gen Z, you know. Education has become different, the requirements for the education. So, also, I feel higher rents make it harder to save for a lot of Gen Z, millennial age groups. And it's become much harder to get all of this is making it much harder to get your foot in the door. So,
But is it impossible?
let's see. People who are listening right now, you're probably thinking, should I just give up since I'm not a boomer with all this wealth and equity behind me?
Absolutely not. Don't give up. In fact, I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions today. Inventory has improved compared to a year ago, giving buyers more choices in the market. Even though affordability remains a challenge, we're negotiating again.
Yeah, we are.
Which that's so fun.
Oh,
It is
I
a
agree.
great part of the job if you enjoy what you do in real estate.
Yeah.
We're seeing sellers give away concessions again. That's been a long time coming, right?
For sure. For sure.
We're seeing builders buy interest rates down to drive traffic in the door.
Which has been great.
Yeah, for you.
Building a house. I'm gonna write down, please.
People are actually getting inspections again.
Yeah. It's a wild thing to think people were passing on inspections together.
I would love to know.
How many of those homes actually had issues after they moved in.
Yep.
Yeah, same.
We're also asking for repairs too.
Yep. Yep. And those things, were almost impossible just a few years ago.
Yeah.
Thank you, COVID.
These buyers actually have more leverage than they've had in a really long time.
Isn't that the truth? So, Gen Z is definitely changing the rules, which, this might be my favorite part of this whole episode today to talk about is Gen Z already represents 4% of home buyers, right? So Gen Z again, that's Gen Z is 14 to 29-year-olds. That's crazy. So your son would be included in that. So they're representing 4% of home buyers.
That's a low number, I feel.
The average age is 40 years old for a home buyer right now.
Yeah.
Which that is crazy.
Insane.
It's based on
right now is priced out of his market, and he makes a great salary. So
yeah.
It's really hard. This is why people are buying differently. So we were just talking about how these boomers bought these houses. They stayed in them for 30 years. You can't do that anymore. You have to buy what you can afford.
Yes, right. Hence, like my husband and I, we bought our house for our starter home. We knew we were going to have to move if we grew our family.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same.
Yep. But so the Gen Z, they're buying differently than previous generations. And many of them aren't married. They don't have kids. They're buying simply because they want to own something. They're tired of throwing their money away renting. So even more interesting on that is 35% of Gen Z buyers are single women. Insert Beyonce song.
The highest share among any generation.
Yeah. Get it, ladies.
I absolutely love that. They're eating wealth for themselves.
Get it?
Women are quietly dominating the market.
I mean, yeah. Single women now account for 25% of all home buyers, compared with just 11% of single men.
Wow. One thing I love about this job is watching women realize I don't have to wait. I don't have to wait until I'm married. I don't have to wait until someone buys with me. If the numbers work, let's build wealth. That's empowering.
Yeah, for sure. So, what does all of this mean here in Tampa Bay? So, what are we seeing locally?
Several things. More retirees are moving into Florida. More homeowners who built equity deciding it's finally time to move. More buyers looking for homes with first floor primary suites. So stairs, low maintenance yards, gated communities, active adult neighborhoods. At the same time, we're also helping young buyers get creative. Down payment assistance, seller concessions, rate buy downs, house hacking, multi-generational homes. Those conversations happen almost daily.
Oh, definitely. Absolutely in today's market. So let's play a quick game.
Love it.
I'll give you the myth. You give me the truth.
Okay.
No one's buying homes.
People are buying every day. They're just buying differently.
Yeah. In fact, I'm pretty sure in our area, at least, the average number of homes that are coming on is the same as those that are going off.
And if not, it's very close.
Yeah. Okay, what about you need 20% down to buy a home?
Definitely not. Many loan programs allow much less depending on your qualification.
Yeah, I know someone who only put 3% down. So
Yeah.
Go for it. Okay, you should wait for rates to drop.
Maybe, but remember, if rates fall significantly, more buyers often enter the market, increasing competition. Waiting doesn't automatically mean you pay less overall.
Right. And who knows when those rates will go down. You might.
If
you're ready to do it, just do it.
Yeah. Let me have this for everybody in the back to hear.
Yeah.
If the rates,
say it loud.
If the rates are higher, prices are lower. If the rates are lower, the prices are higher. It changes supply and demand.
Yep. Last one. I missed my chance.
Listen, if you guys are financially ready, you haven't missed anything. You simply need the right strategy.
Yeah. So, we have a question that a listener actually sent in, and it was, I have a house that's almost paid off. Should I sell now or should I wait?
Okay, that answer depends on your goals, not just the market. Ask yourself this: does your current home still fit your life?
Hmm.
Would moving improve your quality of life? Can your equity help you accomplish your next goal? Sometimes the best financial decision isn't staying put forever. Sometimes your equity is meant to help fund your next chapter.
Right. And also, something to remember is that your most likely buyer may not be a first time buyer if you are currently on the market or looking to get onto the market, right? Your marketing needs to appeal to equity rich repeat buyers, as we've just gone over this whole episode.
Absolutely.
The boomers are where it's at right now.
Mhm.
So, make sure, a lot of people like to have move-in ready conditions. The layout's important. If things are updated, that's a huge key feature for homes right now. Something with minimal maintenance and, you know, the neighborhood definitely makes a huge difference right now in
It
this
definitely
market,
does. That
as we've seen.
If you remember nothing else from today's show, I want you to remember this. Well, these 5 things. How about that?
5 things. Okay.
All right, so let's get
5
into it.
things. Number 1, baby boomers are leading today's housing market because of equity, not because homes are suddenly easy to buy.
That's good. First time buyers face real affordability challenges, but opportunities are improving with more inventory and negotiating power.
Lots of negotiating power.
Hmm.
It's a great time. Gen Z is entering the market earlier than many people realize, and they're redefining what homeownership looks like.
Single women continue to be one of the most strongest and fastest growing groups of home buyers.
Yeah, ladies. And lastly, real estate isn't a one size fits all. Please remember that. Your best move depends on your goals, not someone else's timeline.
Absolutely. So, whether you're buying your first home, selling the one you've owned for 30 years, or simply wondering what your options are, that is what Jen and I are here for. So, no pressure, just honest conversations and real strategies.
Yeah. And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please be sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and share this episode with someone who's been asking, is now even a good time to buy or sell?
And if you would like to know how much equity you have in your home or curious about what these national trends mean for your neighborhood here in Tampa Bay, because they're kind of by neighborhood right now,
For sure.
yeah, reach out to us. We'd love to help you make sense of your options. Until next time.
We're your homegirls, and this has been the Homeowner Hotline.